You are welcomed by the USU Software Project team. We are working on developing specialized software. We would like to present you a program of new generation for a beauty salon. The program is launched from a shortcut on the desktop. The login window appears. Each user works using a separate login which is password protected. Also, each employee can have individual access rights, which allow them to see only the information that is in their authority area. Separate credentials are configured for the salon administrator and the head of the organization. We will log in as main to see all the functions. Please note that our program can be used in any country of the world in any language. The interface can be easily translated. We have created many beautiful designs for you to enjoy working in our modern program even more. You can choose the theme you like from the list: summer theme, Christmas theme, modern dark theme, St. Valentine's Day theme, and many other themes. For now, let's keep the basic theme of the operating system. So, in the main window of the program, as we can see, a customer registration is shown. Any time period can be displayed. The schedule is made taking into account the work shifts of each specialist of the salon. To make an appointment, just double-click on the needed time. In the window that appears, we can select the desired customer and service. We select clients from a single customer base. First, we check if they were in our salon before, simply by entering the first letters of their name from the keyboard. You can also search by club card number, phone number, and other personal data. If the customer is not found, we add a new one by right-clicking and selecting the Add command. Required fields are marked with an asterisk. The rest of the fields are optional. Personal data, contact information, documents, or any other information may be entered. It is also possible to enter the customer's hair dye color preferences or any other preferences. This will allow you not to depend on a certain employee, as any administrator will be able to please every one of your customers. Also, you can attach a photo in the program. Just upload it from a file or capture directly from a webcam. When a customer is added or selected from the base, just click the Select button. One more required field is a service that will be selected from your own price list. Later, we can add all the services provided to the customer at once, and the program itself will calculate the total sum to be paid. This is how quickly and easily a preliminary appointment is made, which will help you to rationally use your human resources, and your customers will not have to languish in anticipation. For with the modern rhythm of life, any queue or forced waiting for many people is simply unbearable. Therefore, we are doing everything necessary for the users of our programs so that they do not lose their money due to dissatisfied customers. On the contrary, they earn more. Later, when a person comes to the salon, we will mark it in a special checkbox, or we will set refusal. We can also add additional information, for example, that the customer came to the salon for the first time. If a person also wants to make an appointment with another specialist or for another day, we can easily copy them. When making an appointment for another day, the information system will display a telephone handset icon until the administrator calls the customer to remind about the appointment. This is considered good form and helps the salon to avoid lost profits. You can display a list of customers for calling at the beginning of a new working day using a special report which is called mailing list. It allows you to see the list of customers for manual dialing or to perform an automatic mass reminder. You will have at your disposal as many as 4 types of modern mailings: email, SMS, Viber, and voice call. Yes, you heard right. Our program will even be able to call all the customers, introducing itself on behalf of your salon and remind about an appointment. Such mailings can be used for other purposes that will increase the level of customers' loyalty and multiply your sales. To notify about various promotions and discounts, to notify about bonus balance, to wish customers a happy birthday, or to congratulate on any other holiday. Now from the mailings we return to the registration window. Please note that while the services are not paid, the customer is displayed in red. Even if they went for a manicure after styling, you should not forget to take payment from them for all services provided. To make a payment, just right-click on the required customer and select the Current History command. Services for today will be displayed. For each service, its cost is visible, which can be either fixed and substituted from the price list or entered manually when the exact price is not known in advance. You can work with any currency. When some materials are spent on the provision of the service, it can be indicated on the special tab Goods. If by some procedure it is known in advance what materials will be spent, they can be added to the calculation, and then they will be constantly written off automatically. What will be spent in excess of the norm can always be written off manually. When some goods and materials are not included in the cost of the service, they can be added to the invoice by simply putting a special check mark. The sum of all materials will be displayed next to the cost of the service. Next, the total sum to be paid will be calculated. In the paid cell there is 0 so far. Let's proceed to the payment. To do this, simply click Pay. The program calculated everything by itself. We just have to choose a payment method: cash or card. Most often customers pay in cash, so this payment method is selected by default to ensure maximum speed of work. Please note that the system also supports other types of payments: gift certificates or bonuses. Bonuses are another method to increase salon sales. Customers spend more real money trying to collect more bonuses, so that later they can pay using them. Moreover, all this is modern and fashionable. Now, from the lyrical digression, we return to our program. In fact, we just need to click OK. The program did everything for us. That's all. The payment went through. There is no debt. The line is not highlighted in red, which means everything is okay. You can view the payments made for any service on the Payments tab. Mixed payments are also supported. For example, the customer can pay for the services partially with bonuses and partially with money. After accepting payment, you can print a receipt for the customer to increase their confidence in your salon. The customer sees that all the money paid is corresponding to the services provided. Services and materials are shown separately. You can print the receipt either on a standard A4 printer or on a check tape. This is how the day-to-day work of a beauty salon or a hairdressing salon is conveniently arranged. Everything is easy and unlabored. At the same time, when you work in our adjusted program, you will get perfect order and full control over your affairs. The more carefully you work with your customers, the more you get from them in return. Each customer is your source of funds. There is even a modern concept of CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Management. CRM functions are present in all of our programs. Let's see them on the example of the simple work with the customer, which we have already done. The actions we performed were immediately reflected in all analytical reports. Just look at this power of modern analytics, which will faithfully serve for development of your business. For example, we can now summarize the history of any customer. Everything will be displayed here at once. If the customer has any debts, how many bonuses the customer has, how much money the customer has spent in the total for the entire time of visiting the salon, with what frequency, to which specialist, at what time and days of the week the customer prefers to go to the salon, whether the customer uses a full range of services or just gets a haircut. If, for example, a woman does only her hair at your salon, you will immediately see it. It means that she does her manicure at home, or maybe she gets it done at your competitors. Just gift her a visit to the manicurist. She will love it, and she will spend more money at your salon. In addition to such analysis of a specific customer, mass comparison is also available. You can look at your client's preferences. After all, perhaps this is not a feature of a single person that she does not go to your manicure. Maybe this is more serious. Maybe the problem is in your salon. The program will help you display a ready-made list of clients, divided by your departments which, for some reason, these clients ignore. You can give them all a free visit to those departments. With such moves, you will not only win, but also will not lose at all if you analyze which days of the week you have a lull and gift the client a visit on such a day. You will also be able to monitor the visit activity of your salon, to see that if there is no recession now, then there is no reason to make too many gifts. Also, according to the client base, you can easily find the most promising clients, looking at the rating of those who spend the most money in your salon. It is necessary that you understand exactly which clients deserve a special attention. You can somehow highlight or encourage them and thereby stimulate them to spend even more. The next important thing is to understand how customers learn about you more often. This analysis will be shown in the marketing report. If some kind of advertisement does not work, then you do not need to waste money on it. Identify the best working information source and invest more in it. Add work tasks for yourself and your employees. When, about what, and which customer to remind. For a customer, a second visit to your salon is not a priority. They may not even remember about it, and for you, it is lost money. And a string of lost customers leads to an unprofitable business. You need to not only actively try to build up your customer base, but you should also work diligently with old clients. Call those who disappeared and find out if it is temporary or if the customer left you for some reason. Work on your mistakes. Analyze the reasons why customers leave you. If somebody visits your salon but then stopped for some reason, it does not mean that the customer simply moved to another city. Maybe he or she has other objective reasons for leaving your salon. Find out those reasons and root them out. For example, customers often leave after a good specialist leaves the salon. Next, we will tell you how to use our intelligent software to determine which specialist is actually good. But we will not look at those who just show off. We will be guided solely by the program analytics. The first sign of a good specialist is the monetary benefit he brings to the salon. For each employee, you can see how much money they earned for the company. If the employee's salary is not fixed, but piece rate, the program will easily calculate it automatically. To do this, you can simply set the percentages individually for each specialist. It is even allowed to fine-tune the salary for different types of services provided and related products sold. Many organizations also use the principle of mutual assistance. For example, a customer did a haircut. He or she may also be encouraged to take care of hands, legs, sew, whatever else is in other parts of your salon. At the same time, the company will receive significantly more income and the specialist will be additionally rewarded for such referrals to other specialists. The most important task for each employee is, of course, to work on their own reputation, and it can best be traced judging by customer behavior. When the customer continues to go to this specialist after the first visit, this is called customer retention. In this report, for any period for each specialist, you can see how many primary customers made an appointment, how many of them continued to go to this specialist, and the main calculated indicator is the retention percentage. The higher it is, the better. You can also display the dynamics of visits for specialists. In this comparative report, you will see the number of visitors in the context of each month, both for a specific employee and in comparison with other employees. In addition, in a separate extensive report, you will be presented with a scope of work performed by each specialist separately. Please note, by the way, that all reports will be made with your logo and details, and all analytics can be built for any period of time. This means that you can easily analyze one day, week, month, or even a whole year. This is especially useful for the most important thing every organization should do: financial analysis. Money loves counting, and you need to count it from different sides. You need to look at your business from different angles in order to clearly understand what affects your profit. It can seem that before we just accepted the payment from the customer, but this is already enough to generate a great variety of different financial reports. The main one is the payments report. With its help, in real time you can view balances for any cash desk and bank account, see the total turnover for the receipt and consumption of funds, check, if necessary, balances with a detailed statement. If you have a chain of subsidiaries, you can see all of them at once, but each subsidiary will see only its own finances. Separate summary will show the profitability for each region. If one of the regular customers was given a service on credit, you will not forget about anyone. All debtors will be in a separate register. The funds received can be analyzed in the context of the services provided. This report will show how many times which service was provided, how much money you earned from it. The total sum will be lined up for each group and subgroup of services. If you bought special equipment or hired additional workers to provide some group of services, you can easily understand how much your investment pays off. A separate report will show the distribution of forces in the provision of services. If something is not progressing well, turn your attention to whoever is in charge of that direction. And also, if you have several specialists of the same profile, this analytics will help you compare their work performance. Moreover, you will even get the opportunity to control the development of any direction of your activity. The dynamics in time will be presented for you for each direction. For example, you have opened a spa area or started doing massage. The program will show you the number of visitors for the service group in the context of each month. If the number of sales of not very cheap services is falling, look at the overall purchasing power at the current moment in the average bill report. You can also analyze in which price segment your services and goods are more accessible to people. If there is something very expensive and the customers do not buy it, reduce the price a little. You will benefit from the amount sold. You can also take into account your expenses in our program. Then you will have better control over them. You will see the total for each cost item. The sums will be formed monthly. Thus you can easily trace the dynamics. Please note that each report is accompanied by different graphs and charts. This is for greater clarity. For example, here the green line is income and the red line is expense. Also, the profit for each month of your hard work is automatically calculated. With the help of our program, your work will certainly become easier. A significant problem for a beauty salon or a hairdresser salon is also the accounting of goods and materials. Our program has a separate group of analytical reports on this matter. The basic report will show the balance of the goods for any date, for any department, warehouse, or just an accountable person. You can also see in monetary terms who has goods and in what amount. It is possible to display sales volumes for any period, both for each product and for whole groups and subgroups of products. You can even track the dynamics of sales over time by product groups. There is also an opportunity to see stale goods, which, on the contrary, are not sold in any way. The program can remind in a separate register of those materials that are running out. And the apogee of work with goods is a computer forecast. Our intelligent system can even calculate for each product for how many days of stable, uninterrupted consumption it will be enough. The video was by no means short, but we have shown only a small part of all the possibilities available in the system. This is a set of functions that will begin to bear fruit for you right from the first days of working in our program. But in addition to this, for the coolest beauty salons that want to be a whole head above their competitors, we have additional exclusive offers that will surely be a pleasant surprise for your customers. If the basic equipment of our program is available to all salons without exception, the exclusive functions will not be affordable for everyone, so that they always remain exclusive. Only those who invest in their business more than others will receive much more in return than their competitors. Please note that our program is a complete investment in your business. You can find out more detailed information on our official website usu.kz or by contacting us in any convenient way. Call or write. Find out how we can automate your organization. USU Software, manage your business properly.